begin with joy. Some begin with hope. But this one began with a truth that arrived too late and changed everything forever. The sun rose over Lagos with a golden promise, painting the city in warmth that made the streets shimmer. In the heart of Lekki, the grand halls of the Victoria Banquet Hall were alive with excitement. Crystal chandeliers sparkled, reflecting the countless preparations that had gone into what everyone believed would be the wedding of the year. Inside the bridal suite, Amara Obi, the bride, was a picture of poise and grace. Her chocolate brown skin glowed under the soft morning light, her eyes sparkling with nervous anticipation. She wore a cream lace gown, delicate embroidery catching the light like tiny drops of dew. Her hair was swept into a flawless updo, adorned with pearls her grandmother had gifted her. Her maid of honor, Tola, fussed over her veil, her voice trembling slightly with excitement. Tola, Amara, you look... I can't even... Everyone is going to stare. Amara laughed softly, though a hint of tension lingered in her smile. I hope they'll be staring for the right reasons. Tola noticed her friend's nervous hands twisting the thin fabric of her veil. You're going to be amazing. Caleb is lucky. Well, he's always lucky, but today he's really lucky. Amara's smile faded slightly. I just want everything to be perfect. I don't want anyone to ruin this day. Outside the suite, the hall was buzzing. Guests in shimmering outfits and designer suits laughed, took selfies, and whispered amongst themselves. The flowers, white lilies, roses, and orchids, filled the room with a scent that made every step feel surreal. Everything screamed luxury, success, and happiness. Caleb Adekule, the groom, paced nervously in his black tuxedo, his jaw tight and eyes restless. He was tall, with a commanding presence, and a smile that could disarm anyone. Yet this morning, that smile was forced. His best man, Chiki, noticed it. Relax, man. You're about to marry the woman of your dreams. Don't let nerves ruin it. Caleb, nerves? This isn't nerves, Chiki. I just want to make sure she's safe. Today, nothing goes wrong. Chiki raised an eyebrow. Safe? What's going on? Caleb shook his head. Nothing, just everything. I can't explain it. Back in the bridal suite, Amara's mother, Mrs. Obi, was fussing over the final touches. She was elegant, sharp, and protective, her eyes scanning every corner of the room as if the walls themselves could betray her daughter. Amara, darling, breathe. Today is about you. Smile. Walk out there like you own the world. Amara tried to nod, but her heart thumped uncomfortably in her chest. Something deep inside whispered that perfection could crumble. She brushed it off as wedding jitters. The music began. The orchestra started with a soft classical melody, and guests turned toward the aisle. Amara's father, Mr. Obi, tall and stoic, motioned to her. It's your moment, Amara. Time to shine. Amara took a deep breath. She stepped forward, her long train of the dress floating behind her like a cloud. Guests rose to their feet, murmuring in admiration. Every step felt like walking on glass, delicate, beautiful, but terrifying. Then she saw him. Caleb, waiting at the altar, looked perfect, but his eyes betrayed a flicker of worry. As their hands met, the world seemed to pause. Guests held their breath, sensing the love radiating between them. You look unbelievable. And you look nervous. Only for you. The officiant cleared his throat, beginning the ceremony, and everyone was lost in the moment. Until a sharp, unexpected voice cut through the soft music. A woman from the back. Amara, wait! A hush fell over the crowd. Heads turned. Gasps filled the hall. Amara froze, her heart hammering. She didn't recognize the voice, but something about its tone made the blood drain from her face. The woman pushed through the guests, elegant yet furious. She was stunning, with eyes that burned like fire, and she was carrying an envelope. You need to see this before you say I do. Caleb's confident stance wavered. Tola grabbed Amara's arm, whispering frantically, Who is she? Amara shook her head, panic rising. I don't know. The woman stepped closer, holding the envelope toward Amara, her eyes locked with hers. It's all here, Amara. The truth. He's not who you think he is. A cold wind seemed to sweep through the hall, despite the warmth of the day. The orchestra faltered, the music stopping abruptly. Every guest was staring now, some whispering, some shocked. Amara's hands trembled. She looked at Caleb, searching for any sign that this could be a mistake, but his expression was unreadable. The perfect day was starting to crack. The hall was frozen. Every whisper, every gasp hung in the air like a weight too heavy to bear. Amara's Obi's hands shook as the woman, tall, striking, eyes burning with fury, stepped closer. The envelope, crisp and white, was trembling slightly in her grip. Amara, voice barely a whisper. Who are you?
The woman's eyes narrowed. Someone you should have known years ago. But maybe it's too late, or maybe it's just in time. Caleb's expression hardened, a flicker of panic flashing across his features. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came. For the first time, the aura of control and perfection surrounding him faltered. Tola, grabbing Amara's arm, whispering frantically, Don't take it. What if it's a trick? Amara's heart pounded. She could feel the stares of every guest burning into her back. The officiant stepped back, nervously, unsure how to proceed. Open it, Amara. You need to know the truth before you say your vows. Hands trembling, Amara reached for the envelope. Inside, she found a single sheet of paper. At first glance, it looked innocent, but the words written in bold black ink made her stomach drop. Caleb Adequile is engaged to another woman. The marriage is legally binding. He has lied to you for months. The hall erupted. Some guests gasped audibly. Others whispered frantically, trying to process what had just been revealed. Amara, voice cracking. No, that's not possible. He wouldn't. Caleb stepped forward, attempting to grab her hand, but Amara recoiled instinctively. Caleb, Amara, I can explain. Amara, explain? How can you explain lying to me, to everyone? The wedding is a lie, a cruel, perfect lie. The whispers turned to murmurs of outrage. Cameras from guests' phones lit up the hall. Someone muttered, This is insane. Did she just ruin the wedding? Tola, whispering urgently, Amara, just step back. Don't do anything rash. We need to think. But Amara couldn't step back. Not yet. Her mind raced, trying to reconcile the man she loved with the words on the paper. Every shared memory now felt like it had been a lie. Every promise suddenly rang hollow. Amara, voice rising, shaking. Caleb, why? Why didn't you tell me? Caleb swallowed hard, his jaw tight, his eyes, normally so confident, flickered with fear. Amara, I didn't mean for this to happen. I was trying to protect you from... Protect me? By lying? You lied to my face, Caleb. Her voice echoed through the hall, silencing everyone for a moment. Guests were frozen, staring at the young couple as if watching a tragedy unfold in real time. You see, Amara, I am the other woman, and I have the legal papers right here to prove it. He married me 3 months ago. You thought you were his fiancée. Amara felt the room tilt around her. The blood drained from her face. Her hands clutched the edges of her veil like it was the only thing keeping her upright. Amara, voice barely a whisper. No, this can't be real. Caleb, it is, Amara. Please, let me explain. I never meant to hurt you. I love you. Love me? You don't even know what love is. How could you betray me like this on the day I trusted you the most? Her voice cracked like a whip, slicing through the hall. Guests murmured in shock, some looking horrified, some whispering to friends, trying to make sense of the scandal unfolding. Mrs. Obi rushing forward, voice sharp. Caleb Adequile, how dare you humiliate my daughter in front of all these people? Mr. Obi stern and shaking his head. You're lucky this is a wedding and not a courtroom. Explain yourself now. Caleb's face paled. The confidence he had carried all morning was gone, replaced by guilt and panic. I married her because of a mistake, a situation I thought I could fix. I never meant to hurt you, Amara. I love you. Love me? You can't love me, Caleb. Love doesn't look like deceit, lies, and betrayal. Love doesn't ruin lives on a day like today. Her voice cut deeper than any slap. The unknown woman, standing a few feet away, stepped forward, her posture rigid, voice sharp but controlled. You see, Amara, I tried to tell him to end it, but he wouldn't. He thought he could have both of us. But now, you know the truth. Tola grabbed Amara's hand tightly, whispering frantically, Breathe, Amara. Don't do anything rash. But Amara could hardly breathe. The betrayal burned hotter than the Lagos sun outside. Every memory with Caleb, the late night talks, the laughter, the promises, they were all suddenly tainted. Amara, voice rising, everyone here saw it. They know now. The perfect wedding, the perfect day, ruined because of your lies. The guests murmured, some nodding in sympathy, others just shocked. A few were whispering about social media. This scandal was already viral in their minds. Caleb took a step forward, his face etched with desperation. Please, just hear me out. I wanted to tell you. I was going to. Amara, cutting him off. Hear you out? Caleb, you don't get to speak right now. You don't get to fix this. You've broken me, and my trust can't be mended today, or ever, maybe. Mrs. Obi stepped closer, her eyes blazing. Amara, we will leave, right now. This monster doesn't deserve your tears. Amara looked around, noticing the stunned faces of family and friends. Her wedding day had transformed into a public humiliation. The laughter, the decorations, the music, all had become meaningless symbols of a life she thought she would have. Amara,
quietly, "Tola, help me get out of here. I can't stay another second." The two women backed slowly towards the exit. Caleb's face fell, a mix of regret, panic, and anger. But Amara didn't care. Her heart was too heavy, her mind too sharp. As they reached the doors, the unknown woman called out, her voice sharp and accusing. "Amara, he is mine! Don't make the same mistake I did, trusting him blindly." Amara stopped, glancing over her shoulder, but the sight of Caleb's pleading, desperate face didn't matter anymore. She turned back to the doors, her steps purposeful. Amara, to herself, quietly, "No, not today, not ever." Outside, the warm Lagos air hit her face. The sounds of the bustling city were strangely comforting after the chaos inside. Her chest heaved, but there was a strange clarity. Painful, yes, but freeing. "Tola, are you okay?" Amara, taking a deep breath. "No, but I will be. We need to go and think. I need to decide what I do next, and I won't let him control that." As they walked away, the guests inside the hall were left in stunned silence. Caleb stood frozen, the unknown woman at his side, the shattered remnants of what should have been the happiest day of his life. Amara didn't look back. Not yet. She didn't need to. Today had taken everything she thought she had, but it hadn't taken her will to survive, to reclaim her dignity. And somewhere in the distance, as the city hummed with life, a part of her knew the real battle had only just begun. The city moved on, as cities always do. Cars honked, people laughed, vendors shouted prices by the roadside. Lagos did not pause for heartbreak, but Amara Obi did. 3 days had passed since the wedding that never happened. 3 days since her name became a whisper, a headline, a trending topic she refused to search. Amara sat by the window of her childhood bedroom, the curtains drawn halfway, letting in just enough light to remind her she was still alive. Her wedding dress was gone, packed away by her mother without a word. The ring lay untouched in a small box on the dresser, silent and powerless. For the first time in days, Amara stood up. She looked at her reflection in the mirror. Not the bride, not the victim, just herself. And she realized something quietly powerful. Caleb did not destroy her. He only revealed himself. The truth comes fully out. That afternoon, her parents sat her down in the living room. Their faces were calm now, not angry, not frantic, just resolved. Mr. Obi spoke first. "Amara, we didn't want to burden you earlier, but the truth has unfolded." Amara sat, her back straight. "The woman who interrupted the wedding," her mother continued, "her claims were true legally." Amara nodded slowly. She already knew. "But," Mr. Obi added, "there is more." Caleb Adekunle was exposed far beyond the wedding hall. The so-called marriage he entered into 3 months earlier was tied to money, a desperate attempt to secure business connections through the woman's wealthy family. When it failed, he tried to erase it and start fresh with Amara, hoping love and silence would bury the past. It didn't. The woman he married had filed for annulment. His business partners withdrew. His reputation collapsed in days. The man who stood confident at the altar had fallen, hard. Amara listened quietly, her face unreadable. "Do you want to take legal action?" her mother asked. Gently. Amara thought for a moment, then shook her head. "No," she said calmly. "I don't want revenge. I want freedom." And she already had it. One final meeting. Caleb asked to see her. Once. Against everyone's advice, Amara agreed, but on her terms. They met in a quiet public cafe. No drama, no tears. Caleb looked different. Smaller, older, broken. "Amara, I ruined everything," he said. She looked at him, not with anger, but with clarity. "You didn't ruin my life. You ruined your access to it." He swallowed. "I loved you." She nodded once. "I believe you did, in the way you know how. But love without honesty is just selfishness dressed nicely." Silence stretched between them. I forgive you, Amara added. Not for him, but for herself. But forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. This is where we end. Caleb nodded, tears in his eyes. She stood and walked away for the last time. Healing. Weeks later, Amara returned to her life, slowly. She went back to work. She laughed again. She slept peacefully. The shame she feared never stuck because it wasn't hers to carry. People stopped whispering, and when they didn't, she didn't care. One evening, she stood on her balcony, watching the city lights flicker like second chances. Tola joined her, handing her a cup of tea. You know, Tola said, smiling, you scared me that day, walking out like that. Amara smiled back. I scared myself too, but I also saved myself. She looked up at the sky. The wedding never happened, but something far greater did. She chose herself. The end. Some betrayals don't break you, they free you. And Amara Obi walked into her future, not as a bride, not as a victim, but a woman who learned the truth in time. The end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And also comment where you are watching from so I can get to know my subscribers and viewers well. Thank you.